everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. Well, it's getting close to springtime and usually that's when I like to redo the pillows on my sofa. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you some really easy pillows to do to make sort of a little collage of different styles. So this one is a triangular shape. It's the same on the back as on the front. And this one I really love is sort of an envelope, not an envelope shape, but it has this flap with buttons on it. And on the back, it's a slip cover. And I'll show you one more here really quick. This one I use directional print, and I've placed the direction of the stripes, each going in a different direction, so it looks more like a basket weave. And this one also is a slip cover. So I'll show you two different ways, one without a slip cover and one where the closure is permanently closed. Now I'm using a 16-inch pillow form in all of my pillows, but you can use a larger one. Just remember you need to increase the size of your squares. Let's get started. To make the half square triangle pillow, I'm starting out with two different colors and I'm cutting my squares to 18 inches. Eventually, as we move on through this pillow demonstration, this will wind up being a 16-inch square pillow. So bring front sides together of your fabrics. And then you're gonna draw a line going from corner to corner. So use either a pencil or a fabric marker and draw a line. Now I used a green marker so you could see where my center line is. The green line is not your stitch line. It's just to indicate where the center is. That eventually will be your cutting line. Then you're going to go over 1/4 inch on each side of that line and draw another line. So place your quarter inch line on your ruler on top of the green line, that's that center line, and draw another line. Then turn your fabric around and do the same thing on this side. Now these two lines are your stitch lines. So now go to your sewing machine and stitch right on top of your drawn lines. Now place your ruler back on top of that green line. That's your center line. This is your cutting line. And then go ahead and cut all the way down to the other corner. Now you want to press your seams, and here's the seam on one and here's the seam on the other one. You want to press the seams going in the opposite direction of each other. So this one here, I have the darker side pressed towards the lighter side. This is the lighter fabric there. And then on this one, I have the lighter fabric going towards the darker side. We do that so that when we match the two sides up, your seam is not going to be real thick where the two sections come together. Now bring your two sides together, and I'm bringing light to light together and dark to dark. And right now, my square size is 17.5 inches. I want to go ahead and cut 1/4 inch off of each side. So just place your ruler, your 1/4 inch line of your ruler on the raw edge of your square, and then just go ahead and cut around all four sides to make sure that it is 17 inches square. Now bring front sides together. So I'm bringing my dark to dark and then the light to light. And match up your seams. And you're going to place pins around all of your edges. But here in the corner where these seams come together, you'll notice that, at least it should be, one seam is going in one direction, the other seam is going in the other. So you want to lock it in real tight so that it feels flat there. I've placed pins around all of the edges, but on one side you want to leave a large opening if you're going to use a pillow form. So I'm gonna only stitch a couple of inches on each corner out this way right here. If you don't want to use a pillow form and you want to use polyfill stuffing, then just leave a smaller opening, maybe large enough to get your hand in, and you can insert polyfill stuffing. Also at your corners, you can go ahead and clip these little tails off. After pinning, then you want to stitch a 1/4 inch seam on all 4 edges. So you're going to start over here where the 1 pin is, back stitch, stitch down towards the corner, and stop 1/2 inch before this raw edge. So leave your needle down, lift up your presser foot, turn your fabric, and begin stitching. Then you're going to go around to all 4 sides, and when you get back here to where the 2 pins are, you stop stitching and then back stitch. Remember, whenever you come to a corner, you always leave your needle down, lift up the presser foot, and then turn your fabric. Now trim some of the excess fabric off of the corners. This will help your corners to lay nicer. So you're going to cut the width of your seam around the corner down to about 1/8 of an inch wide. Be careful not to cut through your stitches. So I'm first going to cut right across here like that. Then I'm going to take a little bit off of each side. So again, go around to all 4 corners and trim the excess fabric off. Before I turn this pillow front side out, I like to go to the opening edges and fold them back a 1/2 inch and press. And you would do that on both sides of the opening. The reason why I like to do that is I'm going to be using a ladder stitch to close up that opening. So when I do the ladder stitch, I just insert the needle right into that pressed edge. Now reach inside your pillow case and turn it front side out. Before you insert the pillow form, you want to reach inside of the opening here and push against those corners. You want to get them out as far as you can, so make sure you do that. Then to insert the pillow form, this is a 16-inch pillow form, you're just going to squeeze it in like this and then open this up, and as you push the pillow inside, you're just going to keep squeezing it on the sides until you can get it inserted in. Once you've got it inserted inside, then you want to reach inside here and grab on the corners of the pillow form and pull them towards your corner. So make sure you do that. And then to close this up, I use clips like this. They're called Wonder Clips. There's other brands too. They're all the same. I like to use clips to close up this opening. So you fold those edges in, use clips to hold it closed, and then do a ladder stitch to close it up. And the link to doing a ladder stitch is listed below your YouTube screen. For pillow number 2, you want to cut 2 squares that are 17 inches square. And again, using 2 different colors or prints, preferably a solid and a print. Then take this one here and fold it in half and then press it with your iron so that you have a little crease here. And then take it and lay it on top and line it up on the edges here and here. So it's going kind of down the middle right along here. Then I recommend you go ahead and do a basting stitch around these 3 edges right here. I'm using these large buttons. I didn't have any wooden ones, and I think for a pillow the wooden buttons would look the nicest. But if you can't get wooden ones, the plastic ones are fine, or even some pretty metal buttons would be nice. And my buttons are about 1 inch wide. So I went out 1.5 inches from this edge here, and I just placed a pin there. That's one way of doing it. Or you can take a ruler and draw a line and I would use either a fabric marker or preferably chalk. Chalk can be easily brushed away. And then you're going to stitch right on top of that line, and I would lengthen your stitch a little bit. I wouldn't make it a basting stitch, but you want it a little bit longer than normal. I think I did mine 3.5, and then stitch all along here. Now I'm using 4 buttons, but you can use more if you want to, and just evenly space them across here. And you can either stitch the buttons on by hand. I prefer using my sewing machine attachment because it's really, really fast. And this is what the front of the pillow should look like. Now I'm going to show you how to do the back of the pillow in a moment, but first I'm going to show you how to do pillow number 3 on the front side. Cut 4 9.5-inch squares, and so here's a square, here's one, and here's one. Now I'm using a directional print and purposely using that so that when we're done, it almost looks like a little bit of a basket weave when we're done. So you're going to line up your fabrics like this. So you've got one going this way, one going this way. And then you're going to stitch them together and bring front sides together and stitch a 1/4-inch seam. And then when you press your seams, press going in the same direction. Then turn it over like this, and you'll notice that this side is going up and down and this side is going side to side. Well, we're going to flip one row. So take this row and turn it like this. So now you have all of these stripes going in a different direction. Then bring front sides together. Match up your center seam, and I would place a pin on that center seam to hold it in place. Then you could continue pinning across here, and then stitch 1/4-inch seam, then press the seam and press it in any direction you like. In the previous section, I told you to cut 4 9.5-inch squares. You need to cut 4 8.5-inch squares. If you forgot and you cut it 9.5, all you need to do is just make sure when you're done, you square this off to 17 inches. And now I'm going to show you how to make the backs for pillows number 2 and 3, this one, and it's going to be a slip cover. To make the slip cover back, you want to cut 2 pieces of fabric that are 11.5 by 17. Then you're going to fold the edges over just on one side of each piece, 1/4 inch and press, fold again and press. And then you're going to stitch along this inside folded edge on both pieces. Now take one of your pieces and lay it front side down on top, and you want to line up your edges all along there on 3 sides. Then take your other one and bring it front side down and take this and overlap them, and then line them up on 3 edges. Then go ahead and pin around all 4 sides. After you've got it pinned on all sides, then you want to stitch a 1/2-inch seam allowance on all 4 edges. Make sure that you back stitch over these 2 areas right here, because it is a stretch area. Whenever you separate this opening to insert the pillow, you're putting stress on this. So do that at both ends. Now trim the excess fabric off around the corners. Cut it down to about 1/8 of an inch wide. So first cut it across here. Make sure you don't cut into your stitch line. And then cut across this way and then this way. And again, do this at all 4 corners. Remember, you're creating this kind of back on the pillows for pillows number 2 and 3. When you're done, you just open it up, reach inside, and begin turning it front side out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I've inspired you to kind of spruce up your living room sofa by making some new pillows. These are really fun and easy to make. Now, if you're interested in other pillow types, I have many pillow tutorials. So check below your YouTube screen in the description section. Expand that description section open by clicking on the down arrow or show more, and then scroll down a little more and you'll see all the links. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.